A pale boy named Silas stands before the obsidian fountain, a desperate wish forming on his lips. His heart aches with a quiet longing to simply disappear, to become truly unburdened by scrutiny. The dark waters of the fountain churned softly, a silent, knowing response to his deepest yearning. He closes his eyes, whispering his desire to be utterly unnoticed, a ghost in the vibrant city. A cold current, like a forgotten memory, sweeps over him, chilling his very bones and spirit. He opens his eyes, feeling lighter, yet an unsettling hollowness now resides deep within his chest. People pass by, their gazes drifting through him, as if he were merely a translucent wisp of morning fog. A woman bumps his shoulder but offers no apology, her eyes seeing only the empty space he occupies. He calls out, his voice a faint echo that seems to dissipate before reaching any listening ear. Fear, cold and sharp, begins to prickle his skin, tightening its icy grip around his hopeful heart. Silas tries to grasp a passing hand, but his fingers slide through, finding only the vacant air. His reflection in a shop window wavers, a shimmering distortion that struggles to hold its form. The bustling street, once a source of anxiety, now feels like a lonely expanse, utterly devoid of connection. He tries to enter a cafe, but patrons unconsciously step around him, leaving him outside the warmth. A tear traces a path down his cheek, unnoticed, its wetness a stark, solitary sensation. The fountain, meanwhile, continues its dark, rhythmic bubbling, a quiet, sinister satisfaction emanating. Its waters deepen to an inky abyss, absorbing the light and all the city's vibrant sounds. A faint, almost imperceptible hum resonates from its depths, a low, contented, ancient vibration. Black mist, thin as a dream, curls upwards from the surface, embracing the cool morning air. The air around the fountain grows heavy, thick with unseen currents and unspoken, realized desires. A subtle, metallic tense hangs in the air, like the scent of freshly forged, forgotten iron. The cobblestones surrounding the basin glisten with a strange, oily sheen, reflecting no light. Shadows stretch longer, deeper, clinging to the fountain's carved edges with possessive intent. A chill wind, carrying no scent of earth or rain, swirls around the monument, whispering secrets. The fountain's ancient stone feels strangely warm to the touch, pulsing with a hidden, dark energy. Its carvings, once mere decorations, seem to subtly shift, hinting at unseen, ancient mechanisms. The water's surface ripples with an unnerving regularity, like a conscious, steady breath being taken. A faint, distant drone emanates from below, suggesting vast, complex machinery at work in the deep. The fountain's black waters reflect no sky, only a swirling, bottomless void that seems to gaze back. Its ominous presence anchors the square, a silent, powerful arbiter of wishes and their dark costs. Silas, now truly unseen, floats past, his desperate cry swallowed by the indifferent city's hum. His wish, granted with cruel precision, leaves him adrift in a world that no longer acknowledges his being. The fountain pulses again, a beat of profound, dark contentment, ready for its next transaction. Its black heart beats slowly, drawing power from the unnoticed boy's silent, profound despair. The city hums its lullaby, unaware of the boy who wished to be forgotten and truly became so. Later, the Fix-It crew approaches the fountain, drawn by the unsettling whispers of the town. Pax, ever watchful, notes the unusual stillness in the air, a peculiar quiet that feels deeply unnatural. Luma studies her diagnostic tablet, its readings flickering with anomalies emanating from the basin. Stitch's fingers twitch, sensing the warped energy, a familiar disharmony in the city's complex weave. Moss, with her quiet intuition, feels a profound sadness clinging to the dark, bubbling water. They gather near the fountain, its black surface now churning with a faint, unsettling shimmer. Suddenly, dark, metallic discs begin to rise from the depths, bobbing like strange, unliving fish. Each coin is perfectly round, forged from an unknown, obsidian-like metal that absorbs all light. They drift to the edges of the basin, settling against the carved stone with soft, metallic clicks. The crew leans closer, their faces etched with a mixture of curiosity and growing apprehension. Luma carefully retrieves one, its surface cool to the touch, yet radiating a strange, internal warmth. Upon its polished face, a familiar visage is etched, the worried brow of Old Man Hemlock. His expression on the coin is one of profound, resigned weariness, captured in stark, dark detail. Another coin reveals the stern features of Mayor Thorne, his usual bravado replaced by solemnity. The details are disturbingly precise, capturing not just likenesses, but also inner turmoil. Each coin bears a date beneath the face, a precise timestamp of an unknown future event. Stitch picks up a coin, feeling its unsettling weight, heavier than any ordinary currency should be. He recognizes Mrs. Gable's kind, wrinkled face, her date stamped exactly 3 weeks from now. Mostu Shrey coin! Feeling a faint tremor within it, like a trapped heartbeat beating beneath the metal. The coin depicts young Alara, her childhood joy, replaced by a distant, almost mournful gaze. Pox, with a sudden, sharp intake of breath, spots a coin, unlike the others. Darker still, it rises slowly, almost deliberately, from the black water, drawn by some unseen, internal current. The coin rotates gracefully, revealing a familiar profile, his own silhouette, stark and unmistakable. A cold dread washes over Pox as he sees the date beneath his etched face. Tomorrow, Eston. The black metal feels strangely warm in his hand, a heat that seems to emanate from his own image. His heart pounds a heavy rhythm, a sudden, chilling awareness of his own impending, scheduled fate. The other crew members turn their eyes wide with a shared, unspoken understanding of the grim discovery. Luma scans the coin with her tablet, its sensors overloading, unable to process the unknown material. Stitch's needle hand trembles slightly, a rare display of unease from the usually steady mechanic. Moss instinctively pulls closer, her gaze fixed on the ominous coin, a premonition stirring within her. The fountain continues to bubble, its dark surface now reflecting their shocked, fearful expressions. These are not mere coins. They are fragments of potential futures, minted and ready for collection. Each face represents a life, a moment, a debt yet to be paid to the silent, hungry fountain. The air grows colder around them, heavy with the weight of these destined, dark transactions. Pox clutches his coin. Its warmth, a chilling reminder of the unknown, inevitable event awaiting him. The town's usual hum seems to recede, replaced by the fountain's soft, insistent, rhythmic pulse. A collective unease settles over the crew, the implications of these coins sinking deep into their minds. The fountain's power is far greater, more insidious than they had ever dared to imagine possible. It mints not just currency, but destiny, shaping the future of FluffTown. With silent, black metal, their mission shifts, becoming more urgent, more personal, more profoundly dangerous than before. They must understand this dark alchemy, this terrible economy of wishes, and their predetermined costs. The black coins gleam ominously in the morning light, silent harbingers of FluffTown's peculiar fate. Pox feels a cold certainty. This fountain is not just an ornament. It is a living, calculating entity. He turns to Luma, his eyes conveying the unspoken question. How do we stop this dark, silent clock? The fountain's water swirls, a silent, knowing response to the crew's dawning, chilling realization. Luma, with renewed focus, begins to trace the fountain's hidden plumbing, searching for its source. Her scanner reveals an unusual energy signature, a unique resonance not found in cities. She follows the anomaly underground, guiding the crew towards a hidden access point beneath the square. The cobblestones beneath their feet hum faintly, vibrating with a deep, unseen, rhythmic energy. They locate a loose grating, concealed beneath a tangle of thorny, overgrown, ancient ivy. Pox kneels, prying at the rusted iron, his muscles straining against the old, stubborn metal. With a groan, the grate gives way, revealing a dark, narrow shaft descending into the earth. Cool! Damp air wafts up from the opening, carrying the scent of whetstone and something vaguely metallic. Luma's flashlight beam pierces the darkness, illuminating a rough-hewn tunnel, surprisingly wide below. At its end, a large, pulsating pump hums ominously, its dark metal scarred with ancient symbols. It is unlike any municipal equipment. It's designed both alien and disturbingly organic in nature. This device, unseen by the city, feeds the fountain's dark waters. Its purpose, now chillingly clear. Luma confirms the pump's output directly correlates with the coin's unsettling, rhythmic appearance. This hidden mechanism is the heart of the fountain's dark, transactional, preordained economy. The pump pulses, a dark, mechanical heartbeat, drawing sustenance from FluffTown's deepest wishes. Pox approaches the humming pump, its surface radiating a faint, unsettling warmth against his hand. He notices a small, almost invisible, access hatch, seamlessly integrated into the pump's dark casing. His fingers trace the outline, detecting a faint seam, a subtle break in the otherwise smooth metal. With a careful touch, Pox locates a hidden leva, disguised within the pump's intricate, carved patterns. He pulls the leva, a soft click echoes in the tunnel, and the hatch springs open silently. Inside, intricate wiring pulses with a faint, internal light, like glowing, dark blue veins. At the center, a wax seal, dark and ancient, bears the unmistakable symbol of the foundation. The seal, unbroken and perfectly preserved, confirms their darkest suspicions about the fountain's origin. This is no mere municipal oversight. This is a deliberate, ancient, powerful connection to the city's core. Moss leans in, her eyes wide, sensing a profound, unseen presence emanating from the open hatch. She feels a hunger, ancient and vast, stirring beneath the stone, patient yet relentlessly polite. It is a hunger that doesn't demand, but rather offers, enticing with promises of fulfilled desires. A chill permeates the air, a cold that reaches into the very marrow of their unsuspecting bones. Stitch examines the seal, noting its intricate design, a pattern mirroring forgotten city blueprints. The symbols on the wax seem to subtly shift, whispering forgotten warnings to his keen, observant eye. Luma scans the exposed mechanism, her tablet struggling to categorize the anomalous energy readings. The pump's hum intensifies slightly, as if aware of their intrusion. A low, watchful vibration. Pox feels a prickle of unease, realizing this is far more than a simple, broken piece of town infrastructure. This is a direct conduit, a living artery connecting FluffTown's wishes to the Foundation's dark heart. The implications are chilling. The city itself is complicit, or perhaps actively enabling this exchange. Moss whispers that the hunger feels old, older than the town, a primordial force of careful consumption. It waits, unseen, for the ripples of desire to reach its core, transforming them into tangible, dark currency. The crew exchanges worried glances, a shared understanding of the immense, unseen power they face. This fountain, they now know, is merely a visible manifestation of a deeper, more pervasive system. The Foundation's influence stretches further, weaving itself into the very fabric of FluffTown's daily existence. They close the hatch, the wax seal now a stark reminder of the ancient, watchful entity below. The pump's hum softens, returning to its rhythmic pulse, as if satisfied with their momentary retreat. They emerge from the tunnel, the city light feeling strangely harsh after the underground darkness. The black coins still rest in the basin, their surfaces reflecting the sky's indifferent blue expanse. Pox grips his own coin, the date still a chillin', stark reminder of tomorrow's unknown cost. Their discovery beneath the fountain changes everything, revealing a hidden layer of FluffTown's reality. The blueprints aren't just plans here, they are potent spells, weaving fates with dark intent, and every spell, they now realize, comes with an unseen, often terrible, and unavoidable price. The air above the fountain shimmers faintly, laden with the weight of countless, half-made outcomes. They stand together, a small island of awareness in a town oblivious to its own transactional fate. The Foundation's presence feels closer now, a cold breath on the back of their collective neck. This is a battle not just against a machine, but against a system, an ideology, a dark, hidden economy. They look at each other, determination hardening their faces, ready to confront this ominous truth. The fountain bubbles, a silent witness to their resolve. its dark waters holding countless more secrets. FluffTown hums its ordinary tune, oblivious to the hidden gears of destiny turning beneath its surface. As the crew prepares to act, residents begin to gather, their faces etched with confusion and concern. Old Man Hemlock, clutching his own black coin, pleads with them to leave the fountain undisturbed. "It helps us survive," he insists, his voice trembling with a mixture of fear and profound conviction. Mrs. Gable, her eyes wide, echoes his sentiment, describing small, timely miracles attributed to its power. People recount wishes granted, small comforts appearing when hope seemed utterly, completely lost. A child's lost toy found, a sudden burst of warmth on a cold night, a forgotten, comforting lullaby. They see the fountain not as a threat, but as a benevolent, if mysterious, provider of quiet mercies. The crew tries to explain the coins, the mechanism, the unsettling, transactional nature of the power, but their words fall on deaf ears, met with suspicion and a deep-seated, desperate attachment. The mayor arrives, his usual bluster amplified by the crowd's growing collective anxiety and distrust. He strides forward, his expression severe, casting a disapproving gaze upon the gathered Fix-It crew. "These individuals," he declares, his voice booming, "are agents of despair, anti-hope, agitators." His words ignite a murmur of agreement, turning the crowd's apprehension into growing, open hostility. The mayor frames their intentions as destructive, portraying them as threats to FluffTown's fragile peace. He paints a vivid picture of a town without its quiet wishes, a future bleak and utterly unforgiving. Stitch mutters under his breath, his hands clenching. "Hope shouldn't be coin a per— Mayor!" His words are swallowed by the crowd's indignant murmurs, unheard amidst the rising, collective anger. Puck steps forward, attempting to reason, to explain the deeper, more sinister cost of these granted desires. But the mayor cuts him off, his voice laced with venom. "They seek to dismantle our very way of life." The crowd presses in, their faces hardening, their trust in the fountain outweighing any logical argument. Moss feels the town's collective energy shift, a palpable wall of resistance rising against their efforts. It is a profound, desperate belief in the fountain's power, born from years of quiet, granted wishes. Luma tries to show her tablet's data, but the mayor dismisses it as unsubstantiated, fear-mongering nonsense. The air crackles with tension, a battle of wills between truth and the comfort of convenient illusion. The crew realizes they cannot simply dismantle the fountain. They must navigate the town's ingrained faith. They retreat slightly, assessing the situation, understanding the delicate balance of their next move. The mayor stands triumphant, basking in the crowd's approval, a protector of their perceived prosperity. The fountain bubbles darkly behind him, a silent, knowing accomplice in this intricate, dark deception. "It's Blackwaters," reflect the mayor's confident smile, a subtle, chilling endorsement of his false narrative. The crew feels the weight of the town's collective will, a formidable barrier to their urgent task. They exchange glances, understanding the need for a more subtle approach, a different kind of intervention. Their mission now involves not just repair, but also a careful, delicate dance with FluffTown's deepest beliefs. The town clings to its wishes, unaware of the insidious price paid in black coins and forgotten futures. Hope, they realize, can be a dangerous currency, especially when transacted through a dark, unseen ledger. The fountain pulses softly, a quiet, rhythmic beat, drawing power from the town's protective, fervent belief. Under the cover of a moonless night, the crew returns to the hidden access tunnel below the fountain. The city sleeps, its dreams woven with subtle echoes of granted wishes and unspoken future desires. Luma carefully reopens the hatch, the foundation seal now a stark, unsettling reminder of their task. Her tools gleam faintly in the beam of her headlamp, reflecting the pump's intricate, dark mechanisms. She studies the complex wiring, identifying the primary conduits, feeding the fountain's dark, rhythmic flow. Each wire hums with a faint, internal energy, a quiet lullaby of borrowed heat and stolen quiet. Luma meticulously charts the energy pathways, her fingers moving with precise, practiced expertise. Her goal to sever the direct connection, to break the insidious minting cycle without disrupting the city. She selects a specialized cutting tool, its edge shimmering with a strange, inert, energy-dampening field. The pump pulses harder, sensing her intention, its internal rhythms quickening with a subtle, rising tension. Luma takes a deep breath, her gaze fixed on the thickest conduit, the primary artery of the dark magic. With a decisive movement, she clamps down, the tool's field instantly neutralizing the wire's humming energy. A shower of faint blue sparks erupts, quickly fading into the darkness, leaving a residual, metallic scent. The pump's hum falters, a jarring, momentary silence settling over the underground chamber, then resumes. But its rhythm is now changed, slightly off-kilter, a subtle disruption in its ancient, steady beat. Luma carefully disconnects the severed ends, insulating them with a specialized, non-conductive polymer. She then installs a passive recirculator designed to maintain the fountain's water flow without its dark power. This new device hums softly, an inert, benign presence compared to the pump's previous hungry pulse. The flow of wishes to the foundation is now severed, a crucial artery carefully, precisely cauterized. Luma steps back, sweat tracing her temple, her expression a mix of relief and exhaustion. Pax moves to the pump's internal valves, knowing they must be rendered inert, permanently sealed. These are the conduits that once channeled the raw essence of wishes, shaping them into dark coins. He carefully removes each valve, their surfaces slick with a viscous, inky residue that shimmers faintly. The residue smells faintly of forgotten dreams and the cold metal of transactional fate. Pax replaces them with inert stone plugs, hand-carved from a dense, energy-absorbing obsidian. Each plug fits perfectly, sealing the flow, creating an impenetrable barrier against the foundation's reach. The pump's internal glow dims further, its once vibrant, dark blue veins now a dull, fading purple. He works with quiet precision, his movements deliberate, ensuring no pathway remains for the dark magic. The chamber grows colder, the warmth that once emanated from the pump slowly, steadily dissipating. Stitch then approached to the foundation wax seal, his needle hand poised, ready for its delicate task. He carefully stitches the seal shut, using a special thread imbued with a protective, warding energy. The thread glows faintly as it pierces the wax, weaving a complex pattern of protective, ancient runes. This binding is meant to sever any lingering connection, to truly cut off the foundation's dark influence. But then, with a subtle, defiant gesture, Stitch carves a small, almost imperceptible crack through the seal. His act is a silent rebellion, a tiny fissure of defiance against the overwhelming, ancient power. The crack is a question, a challenge, a tiny opening for something new to emerge from the depths. It is a deliberate act of imperfection, a refusal to completely trust in the illusion of perfect containment. The pump gives a final, shuddering sigh, its dark energy now utterly, completely muted and contained. The crew stands back, a sense of weary accomplishment settling over them, mingled with lingering unease. They have broken the minting cycle, but the silence that follows feels heavy, pregnant with unforeseen consequences. The foundation's hunger, though momentarily sated, still lingers, a vast, patient presence beneath the city. They gather their tools, preparing to leave the now inert chamber, its dark purpose finally stilled. The air still carries the faint scent of forgotten dreams, a ghostly reminder of the fountain's dark harvest. Their work is done for now, but the true cost of their intervention remains unknown, waiting to unfold. The chamber feels empty, yet charged with the echoes of ancient power, a silent, watchful anticipation. As dawn breaks, a strange, shimmering aura settles over FluffTown, visible only to the most perceptive eyes. The air itself seems to hum with an unfamiliar energy, a vibrant, chaotic, almost overwhelming presence. People wake, feeling an unsettling rush of emotion, their buried desires surging back with sudden force. Long-forgotten wishes, suppressed dreams, and quiet longings spill out, overwhelming their senses. A baker weeps openly, overwhelmed by a forgotten desire to travel, a life unlived now, keenly felt. A quiet librarian suddenly feels an uncontrollable urge to sing opera at the top of her lungs. The city's inhabitants stumble through their morning routines, grappling with this flood of raw, unfiltered emotion. Their faces reflect confusion, joy, sorrow, and a profound, unsettling sense of unfulfilled potential. The carefully constructed composure of FluffTown begins to fray, unraveling under the emotional onslaught. The atmosphere grows thick with half-made outcomes, desires that hover just at the edge of manifestation. Luma's environmental scanner goes wild, detecting countless energetic anomalies, nascent wishes everywhere. The air itself crackles with potential, a vibrant, chaotic symphony of unspoken, now-felt longings. Pucks watches the townspeople, their confusion, a stark contrast to the fountain's previous, quiet control. The illusion of calm, maintained by the fountain's transactional magic, has shattered, revealing raw humanity. Stitch observes the emotional chaos, noting the sheer, overwhelming power of unmanaged, pure desire. Moss feels the town's collective heart beating wildly, a cacophony of individual, resurfacing aspirations. Tick's antique pocket watch, usually steadfast, begins to spin wildly, its hands showing multiple times. The gears whir erratically, reflecting branching futures, countless possibilities, now simultaneously existing. Each tick is a new timeline, a divergent path, a consequence of the wishes, now untethered from fate. The watch's face shimmers, showing glimpses of different outcomes, a dizzying array of potential realities. Time itself seems to ripple, stretched thin by the sudden, overwhelming influx of unrestrained desires. The crew realizes the magnitude of their intervention, the seismic shift they have unleashed upon They broke the cycle, but the deluge of raw, unchanneled wishes now threatens to engulf the city. This is the immediate backlash, the price of disrupting an ancient, insidious, yet stabilizing system. The town struggles caught between the comfort of controlled wishes and the chaos of untamed longing. The fountain, now silent, stands as a stark monument to the fragile balance they have irrevocably altered. Its black waters, though no longer minting, still reflect the shimmering, chaotic energy of the liberated desires. The air hums with a lullaby of unfulfilled dreams, now loudly, insistently demanding their long overdue attention. The crew understands the Foundation's control was a cruel form of order, now shattered into 1,000 pieces. They must now help FluffTown navigate this new, overwhelming landscape of pure, unbridled hope. Returning to the fountain's base, Luma notices a faint anomaly near the inner rim of the basin. A small, almost invisible seam in the stone, too precise to be natural, catches her observant eye. Pox pries it open, revealing a hidden compartment, dark and dust-free, surprisingly untouched by time. Inside, nestled on a velvet lining, lies a set of 5 black coins, gleaming ominously in the dim light. Each coin is stamped with a face, not of townsfolk, but of the Fix-It crew themselves. There is Luma, her brow furrowed in concentration, Pox with his steady gaze, Stitch with his knowing smirk, Moss, her eyes reflecting deep wisdom, and Tick, his face a mask of quiet, focused intensity. Each coin feels unnervingly heavy, as if it contains not just metal, but the very essence of a year. The dates etched beneath their faces are sequential, forming a grim, relentless, chilling countdown. Pox's coin, the one he found earlier, is the first in the series, dated for tomorrow's ominous dawn. The others follow, days apart, then weeks, then months, marking a slow, inevitable progression. This is not just a general threat. This is a personal schedule, a specific, preordained fate for them. The Foundation knew they would interfere, and it had prepared this chilling, personal consequence. A cold dread grips their hearts, a profound realization of the depth of the Foundation's foresight. Their actions against the fountain were anticipated, woven into a larger, darker, predetermined tapestry. The coins are a chilling message, a silent warning from an entity that sees all and plans meticulously. They are marked, scheduled, their futures already accounted for in the Foundation's dark ledger. The air grows heavy with unspoken fears, the weight of their own impending, scheduled destinies. This discovery changes everything, transforming their fight into a desperate, personal struggle for survival. The Foundation's blueprint includes them a terrifying realization of their predetermined critical roles. Luma, with trembling hands, encrypts photos of the coins, securing them deep within her tablet's core. Stitch carefully gathers the physical coins, hiding them in a lead-lined pouch away from prying eyes. Moss feels an urgent need to tell someone to warn the town of this insidious personal threat. Pox, his face grim, shakes his head. Not yet, understanding the panic it would unleash the chaos. Tick whispers, his voice barely audible. We're being scheduled, the words hanging heavy in the tense air. Suddenly, a searing warmth radiates from Stitch's pocket, startling him profoundly. He pulls out his own coin, his breath catching as a crimson stain blooms across its black surface. The blood is real, thick and bright, stark against the dark, unyielding metal. A faint, chilling whisper echoes from the now silent fountain, resonating deep within their very souls. Du Song! The unseen voice breathes, a final, ominous pronouncement hanging in the silent, expectant air.